On this episode of the Bryant Buzz, Kira Evans details the impact of a new phone policy.
I think there is definitely a positive effect on the campus because not having a phone out means that, people have to do their work.
Also, we take a look at the sport that's taking the nation by storm.
Ping pong with tennis, with volleyball, and it's anybody can do it at any skill level.
Plus, we learn more about one of the newest courses offered at Bryant this year.
There's like a movement around the world to make sure that it gets taught.
Also, we sit down with one of the longest standing staff members at Bryant High School.
I just love teaching. I've always felt like I was called to teach.
And as always, our 212 Spotlight.
I get to get really involved with my class this year, and I also get to just do a lot of different senior things.
All of that on this episode of the Bryant Buzz.
Welcome to the Bryant Buzz. I'm Carson Hobson.
And I'm Hannah Rudnick. Thanks for joining us.
We're so excited to be back for the third year of our monthly show, the Bryant Buzz.
Each month, we'll showcase the people and programs that make up the Bryant community.
Have you been wondering about the new rules regarding cell phones here at Bryant High School? Last year, phones were allowed to be out anywhere and anytime on campus, but this year, things have changed. Here's Kira Evans with more.
A new phone policy has been implemented around the BHS campus this school year, prohibiting students from using phones in classrooms and hallways. Senior Aiden Fisher raises concern about the lack of communication she may face.
I believe that the policies really negatively affect everybody. I think we should be able to have the communication that we used to have, and for them to take it away as soon as we're about to graduate or newer people, I get that, but we need that sense of communication. We're young adults. As long as we use that responsibly, I believe we should have it.
One of the biggest classroom distractors are phones. Teacher Michael Westbrook likes the change occurring in his classroom due to the new policy.
The new cell phone policy is working out really well in my classes. I think that students are working a little bit more, less distracted, a little more engaged in their classwork.
While his news team occasionally uses their phones to coordinate interviews, his first-year students are extremely limited on cell phone use.
I think it has a positive impact. Early on, it was a little difficult in my fundamentals classes. I was contacting parents a lot, but the last few weeks has been pretty smooth sailing with limited cell phone interruptions and a lot of work getting done.
Students not being able to access their phone during class, students are struggling to find a way to pass their time. I think there is definitely a positive effect on the campus because not having a phone out means that people have to do their work. People have to get their work done. But also it's kind of negative because the people who do have their work done, they're just kind of stuck. Although students are prohibited from using their phones during class, they are allowed during lunch. For Hornet Media, I'm Kira Evans.
Thanks, Kira. I've noticed less phones in the halls this year.
Me too.
Pickleball is taking over the nation as the #1 fastest growing sport. Students and teachers here at Bryant High School have taken up the popular activity. With the story, here's Taylor Dishinger.
The sport of pickleball has spread across the country, including right here in Saline County. Community members, along with Bryant teachers, have picked up on the fast-growing sport.
We are lucky in Bryant to have a new pickleball courts over in Mills Park, and every day I drive by them at night or in the morning when it's cooled off. There's not a court open.
Mr. Sparks, a history teacher here at Bryant High School, got into pickleball through a trip to Kansas City.
I went to a place called Pickle and Chicken, which is a very big deal up north in other states, and they had I'd argue almost 30 to 40 pickleball courts.
A huge impact that pickleball has brought to the community is its accessibility along with its perks of socialization.
I know I heard some guys saying that they have a text chain of 200 people that just at any moment can play. So it's definitely bringing the community together.
While Mr. Sparks only plays pickleball in his spare time, juniors Matt Burke and Sam Campos have turned their pickleball hobby into a competitive passion.
Signed up for like a tournament for my mom's work. That's really what got me into it, and then I just started playing ever since.
Matt and Sam ended up losing in the tournament even though most of their opponents were of older age, which proves that younger does not always mean better. Despite losing in the tournament, Matt and Sam plan to play more in the future, hoping to grow in the sport.
Older generations are getting into it and younger generations. It's just a fun sport that it combines ping pong with tennis, with volleyball, and it's anybody can do it.
You can expect to see people from all ages and skill levels at the Mills Park pickleball courts, so even if you are not as experienced, there's still a place for you on the inclusive courts. For Hornet Media, I'm Taylor Dishinger.
Pickleball looks like so much fun. Karsten, you might have to teach me.
It really is fun. Last year, Hornet Media covered Mr. Manus's personal connection with World War II and his goal of starting a brand new class here at Bryant High School. This year, his new course focusing on the Holocaust has begun. Here's Chelsea Jensen with more.
A new year means new opportunities for students and staff on Bryant's campus. But for history teacher Mr. Manus, it also means the start of a pilot program. Holocaust and Human Behavior is a course that hasn't been available to Bryant High School until now. While it's the first year of this class, Mr. Manus is a veteran of Holocaust studies, researching the topic since college.
For the past 20 or so years, I've been working with Holocaust survivors, and this is one of the things that they really wanted happen, is now that they're all dying off and can't tell their story, there's like a movement around the world to make sure that it gets taught.
Mr. Manus is part of the Arkansas Holocaust Education Committee and is using his class as an outlet for survivors' stories.
I think a lot of people, when they read the stories, it's hard to believe them. So this allows us just to soul connect to the history and the survivor stories. Like, we do a lot of testimonies in here from survivors that tell what it was like to be in this group or that group, or to fight or to resist or to survive a camp. And so it lets them just solely focus on that.
Senior Lily Vinson is in Mr. Manus's class.
I signed up for this class just because I've been wanting to learn more about this, and it just seemed interesting to me, and I feel like, if I'm educated on this, and that would give me a better understanding of why things happened the way that they did. He's talked to a lot of actual survivors over the past few decades, so he's helping keep those stories alive.
State law requires the Holocaust be taught in all schools from 5th to 12th grade. However, it's never been taught this way before. Mr. Main's main goal is to make sure he's not only teaching Holocaust history, but ensuring survivors' stories stay alive.
Their strap and their short pants, and the girls in their black skirts, white blouses. And
I've taken students to listen to survivors a lot, and the one of the things they'll say is, we're dying, and so you need to be our voice and to speak up. Then as you meet one survivor and another survivor and another survivor, I just get goosebumps thinking about what they went through.
It has been over 77 years since the end of World War II, but the importance of remembering it will never be over. He believes it's a big responsibility to continue telling survivors' stories, and he takes on that job very well. For the Bryant Buzz, I'm Chelsea Jensen.
You haven't done it yet.
Thanks, Chelsea. I'm excited to see where this new class goes.
Me too. Over the past many decades, teachers at Bryant High School have come and gone, but one teacher has stayed here since the 80s. Mr. Seal is so passionate about his work and hasn't regretted a single moment of his teaching career. Here's Bentley Ballesteri with more.
Remember of, names, time.
Mr. Seal is one of more than 100 teachers at Bryant High School. Having taught many years, his experience and dedication sets him apart from other teachers.
I just love teaching. I've always felt like I was called to teach. I would have retired if I didn't like it, if I hadn't fallen in love with it.
Mr. Seal is a former geometry teacher and currently teaches quantitative literacy. He loves teaching math, but his passion for it dates back before he started teaching.
I majored in science and mathematics, and it was because I had a really great math teacher and a really great science teacher that I really liked, and they inspired me to be a teacher.
Even though his love for math and science is a big part of his life, Mr. Seal loves a lot more than what he teaches.
I love my students with all my heart. I would give my life for any of my students. I care about their needs and their wants and their education, and I care about them as an individual, not just as a student.
Mr. Seal teaches in Building 17, but in case you can't find him there, you can check the library where you can find decades of history on Mr. Seal in most of the yearbooks. He has taught for 43 years, and during that time, a lot has changed at Bryant.
We have more teachers, we're bigger. We were going through a growth spurt when I first started here, but we've continued to grow. I think there's a lot of pride at Bryant that we want to do our best and be our best.
Since he has been at Bryant for so long, there is one question on everyone's mind. Will he ever retire?
I do think that I will retire probably either after this year or next year. I can see maybe one more year at the most, and I might even retire at the end of this year.
Whenever Mr. Seal does retire, he wants to leave teachers with a piece of advice.
Hang in there, don't be afraid to ask for help, and teach in the state that you're going to stay in it, because every state's teacher retirement is different, and you lose what you've built up if you move states. So get to where you're going to live as quickly as you can so that you can build up your retirement in that state.
For Hornet Media, I'm Bentley Ballesteri.
At the end of each school year, upcoming seniors vote for their class officers. Being voted class president isn't just a fancy title. The job also comes with a lot of important duties and responsibilities that ensure a smooth senior year. With more, here's Grant Johnson.
With a class of over 600, getting to know everyone might be tough, but for Zoe, being president helps her connect with her classmates.
My favorite thing about being class president is that I get to get really involved with my class this year, and I also get to just do a lot of different senior things.
On the outside, being class president might seem easy, but Zoe tells us all the things that go into making the school great.
So far, I've done the usher thing for the last graduation. I had to do that to become president. We've made senior shirts this year. Senior Sunrise, we did Senior Sunrise and the U-Turn Monday event.
Zoe may be class president, but she's also involved with things on and off campus.
Some clubs that I'm in is minority leadership and student senate as well, and I'm also on the track team, so that's a very hard thing to do. I just try to just stay focused and stay strong and just be who I am. I'm ready to just get involved with everything else, more senior stuff, more senior events, and just get involved with my class, more games, more spirit.
For Bryant Buzz, I'm Grant Johnson.
Thanks, Grant. Zoe has a lot on her plate this year.
That's for sure. And that's also all we have for you today. You can keep up to date with the Hornet Media program by following us online on our YouTube channel and on Instagram at Hornet News Network.
Also, be on the lookout for a new episode of our weekly show, Hornet News Now, on October 6th. And check out Instagram for new episodes of our social media show, Buzzworthy. I'm Carson Hobson.
And I'm Hannah Rudnick. Thanks for watching and have a great day.